Yes, welcome back my dear children of class 11. Today we are going to learn the second phylum, that is phylum Cnidaria or Coelenterata. Last video I have explained to you about the Porifera, the simplest phylum, and now Cnidaria. These are animals which are slightly advanced than Porifera, though they are also simple. They also have simple body structure. So let us see. First of all, let us understand what is the meaning of Cnidaria. As I told you, in the phylum name there is one important feature. So Cnidaria, the term comes from cnidoblast, special kind of cells present. The function I will tell you. So Cnidaria, the name comes from cnidoblast, and earlier they were also called as Coelenterata. Coelenterata again comes from the comes from the term coelenteron, which is the body cavity, So coelenteron is the body cavity. So two important features you got from the term, from the name of the phylum itself. Cnidoblasts are present, coelenteron is present. Now let us go into the detail. First of all, their habitat. These organisms, these are the animals which live in fresh water as well as marine water. So their habitat is aquatic. Some of them are in fresh water, some of them are in marine water, stagnant water which is not flowing. Then their body symmetry, radially symmetrical. This is an advanced characteristic than this Porifera. Porifera are asymmetrical. Here comes the radial symmetry, which means their body can be divided into equal halves. Through any plane the body is cut, we will get two equal halves or mirror images. So such symmetry is known as radial symmetry, and the animals are radially symmetrical. So Coelenterata or Cnidaria are radially symmetrical. Now the level of organization, tissue level. The cells are organized into tissues. Cells are grouped into tissues for specific function. Then like Porifera, they are also diploblastic. That is, there in embryonic stage two germ layers are there. They are ectoderm and endoderm. So they are diploblastic. Remember, Porifera were also diploblastic. Then as I told you in the beginning, phylum name comes from cnidoblasts or cnidocytes, which are present on tentacles for capturing the prey and for defense. So these cnidoblasts help them to capture the prey, help them to feed as well as for defense. And these cnidoblasts has stinging capsules, and these stinging capsules are called nematocytes. These are very specialized organelle in the cell, cnidoblast. Okay, so nematocytes are stinging capsules. Then the central cavity is called the gastrovascular cavity. Gastrovascular cavity means, gastro means related to nutrition, digestion, vascular means circulation. So in this cavity, that circulation of materials to the cells as well as nutrients are absorbed and given to specialized cells. So gastrovascular cavity. They don't have any digestive system or circulatory system. So this cavity serves the purpose, gastrovascular cavity, which is called a coelenteron, and the term or the name Coelenterata comes from this term. Okay, so coelenteron, which opens outside through a single opening called a hypostome. In Porifera we have learned osculum. Here it is called a hypostome. Then digestion is partially extracellular and partially intracellular. Okay, so the food enters into the gastrovascular cavity. So partial digestion takes place there. That is called that is why partially extracellular. Then the rest of it goes into the cell, and digestion is completed inside the specialized cells in the gastrodermis. So partially extracellular, partially intracellular. And some of them have skeleton. made up of calcium carbonate. For example, corals. Corals are one type of cnidaria. So their outer surface is very hard because of calcium carbonate. So some of them have this skeleton, calcareous skeleton is there. Then some of them are sessile and some of them are free swimming. And the sessile forms are called polyp and free swimming forms are called medusa. And some animals, some cnidarians have polyp and medusa, both the forms are there. So again I will repeat, sessile forms are called polyp, that means they cannot move, they are fixed, okay, no movement. And some are free swimming, they can move along with the water current, they are called, free swimming forms are called medusa. I will show you the images. Polyp is sessile, example hydra. Hydra has only polyp form. Okay, there is no medusa form. And medusa is free swimming form, umbrella shaped. And example Aurelia, or common name is jellyfish. And those having both the stages show alternation of generation, which is also called a metagenesis. Metagenesis is alternation of generation. That is, polyp reproduces asexually and gives rise to medusa form, and medusa reproduces sexually and gives rise to polyp form. And this is called also polyp form and medusa form alternate. Okay, this is called alternation of generation, or the phenomenon is called metagenesis. Example Obelia. You please learn at least one examples from all these, for all these forms. Like, so polyp, hydra, medusa, Aurelia or jellyfish, and the polyp and medusa form is there, that which shows alternation of generation, this Obelia. Okay. Then other examples are Physalia, that is commonly called a Portuguese man of war, Adamsia, this is sea anemone, and Mandrine, that is brain cord. I think I have the images for this with me. Okay. Here is the example, Physalia. Okay. Then sea fan, this is also polyp. Then brain coral. Then sea anemone. This is okay. This resembles a flowering plant somewhat. So sea anemone. So these are the examples of some of the common examples of the phylum. Now we come to the details of their internal structure. So let us take the most familiar example. This is Hydra, and Hydra is a polyp form, sessile. It doesn't move. But sometimes with the kind of with the special muscles in them, they somersaulting movement. That is, the tentacles come downwards, ulta. Okay, tentacles come downwards, and this portion goes up like that, and then again tentacles up and normal position. So this kind of movement sometimes they show, that is called somersaulting. But normally they are sessile forms. Now let us see first from here what are the structures. See, of course central cavity is there, gastrovascular cavity, that is digestion and circulation takes place in this cavity, water enters into this. Then the outer layer of cells are called, the layer is called epidermis. This is epidermis, and inner layer that is called a gastrodermis, and in between there is a mesoglia. A space is called a mesoglia. In porifera we called it mesohyle. Then this is mesoglia. So these are the body layers you have understood, and the cavity. Now let us enlarge a portion of it to show the details of the cellular structure. So here this is the epithelium or epidermis, the outer layer. Here there are some cells are modified into epitheliomuscular cells, and then longitudinal muscular fibers are there. So these all help them to move. So this is the cnidocyte. This is the cnidocyte. Okay, and some sensory cell, nerve net is there. So this is a nerve net for sensing. Then some interstitial cells are there. Then circular muscle fibers are there. Then so these are the details of the cellular structure, and so the outer layer is epidermis, gastrodermis and the gastrovascular cavity. So these are the layers, and these are the specialized structures in there to do the specific function. For example, these muscular cells, longitudinal or circular muscle fibers help them to move, sometimes somersaulting movement, etc. Then cnidocytes are for catching the prey. Okay, then here comes I'll just show. See, this cnidoblast, I want to show you the detailed structure. So as I told you, cnidoblasts are also called cnidocyte or nematocyte, which is an explosive cell. That is, blast means explosion. You know the word meaning, bomb blast. Okay, so they blast something. That is why it is called a cnidoblast. So cnidoblasts are explosive cell which contain one giant organelle in it, that is called a cnidocyst. Okay, that delivers a sting to other organisms, and this cnidocyst is the organelle which contains the toxin which stuns the prey. So let us see the detailed structure. This is the whole cell. Okay, a nematocyst or a cnidoblast. Okay, we are nematocyte or cnidocyte, that is the whole cell, Okay, now inside this is the cnidocyst or nematocyst, which contains a toxin, which contains thread-like structures, and this thread has a touch-sensitive hair-like projection, which is called a barb, and a thread-like structure in there. So this whole thing is called this giant organelle is called a cnidocyst. Okay, and or nematocyst. Then you see here, when this is enlarged here, when it sees the prey, then what happens? This thread is blasted like this. Okay, so this is what is explosion. That is why it is called, it is a explosive cell. The cell is explosive cell because see, the threads are there, and these threads contains the toxin, and these threads coil around the prey. Now the prey cannot escape, and this toxin is there which will stun the prey, and they will absorb the prey into the cell. So this helps them in nutrition. Okay, and so the structure we have learned. So these are the important characteristic features of phylum, the second phylum, phylum Cnidavia or Coelenterata. Hope you have understood. Thank you very much.